And this episode of Penn Point starts right now. This episode of Penn Point is brought to you by Squarespace. I want to talk about a buddy of mine, Billy the Mime. Billy the Mime, which is, of course, not his real name. The same middle name, incidentally, is Smokey the Bear. Billy the Mime does mime shows in New York and in LA, and I guess other places too, but I've only seen him mostly. He's at the Upright Citizens Brigade in LA, and at the Flea Theater in New York City. And Billy the Mime, under his real name, where he's a writer and a performer, has been a friend of mine. We've been friends our entire adult lives. He met me when he was on his honeymoon in San Francisco. We were playing there with the Asparagus Valley Cultural Society, and I met Billy the Mime. We had a lot in common. We both went to Clown College, Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey, greatest show on earth, Clown College. I know I say that every time. Sometimes I screw up, but Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey, greatest show on earth, Clown College, we both went to. Different years, but we both went there. We were both teetotalers and drug-free for our whole lives. We were both really big fans of rock and roll. So when I first met him, we were both huge fans of the Sex Pistols, and we didn't do any drugs and didn't drink. So that was a lot to talk about, plus a circus arts background. And Billy the Mime studied serious mime and actually performed as a mime. Now everybody hates mime. Mime is awful. It's terrible, it's unwatchable, and you can't even do jokes about hating mime because it's such a cliche. You know, if you say the word mime to Teller, who works silently, he absolutely goes flip city. He's just so insulted by that because mime is such a bad idea. And way back, like, in 1980, my friend and I were talking about Billy the Mime. Another friend of ours, there was an audition or something for a mime thing, and they sent in a friend of theirs doing really wacky mime. In other words, the subjects were not going to be the subject of, a boy with a balloon or being stuck in a box, but actually studies like, dreams of a young crippled boy. And really deeply troublesome stuff, all done in whiteface by a mime. And then Girlie magazine party, which was a thing that was done by Jim Turner and his gang in LA, which was kind of a play on Playboy After Dark, like a low budget Playboy After Dark with Jim Turner as Hugh Hefner. And I think Jim Turner is one of the funniest people who ever lived, just brilliant. So the Girlie magazine party had as one of their guests Billy the Mime, and Billy the Mime would do these mime pieces that were in such dubious taste. And then that grew into us doing Billy the Mime in The Aristocrats, our movie about the dirty joke. And you'll notice if you watch The Aristocrats, and you should watch The Aristocrats, you'll see Billy the Mime performing the joke, the dirty joke, and he's wearing a mic hanging off him just like this. And people will ask us, one of the most common questions about The Aristocrats is, why is Billy the Mime wearing a mic? And the answer is because that's funny. And so he started putting together a whole show, and this is what's interesting. I've seen the whole show now twice, many years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and then just a couple weeks ago. And I took, what's his name, Vincent Gallo, and Vincent Gallo, the guy who makes movies. He did Buffalo, 88, 68, whatever it is, with Christina Ricci. And didn't tell them anything about it because I wanted them to be destroyed. And also, if you tell somebody we're going to go see Billy the Mime, a mime show, they won't go with you. So you pretty much have to trick people into. And you can go to YouTube and see little bits of it, but it won't tell you all of it at all. And he does pieces called The Abortion, 1968. Anna Nicole Smith, Thomas Jefferson and Sally Helms at Monticello. The African American Experience. He also does this love story in a bathhouse, gay sex in 1979 or something. He holds up a little card, just him alone, and then music Then he acts these things out. And what I find fascinating about it is you could easily do offensive mime. You know, there's a lot of ways to do really easy offensive mime, make a joke about that. And that is a one joke idea that you could do on Saturday Night Live, and it would play for 3 minutes. Then they would do it 20 times and they could move you out of it. But that's beside the point. You could do that in like 3 minutes, it would hold up. But what Stephen, Billy the Mime, does is he does it perfectly. So you take something that is offensive, like a Caucasian doing the African American experience in whiteface, and then he really does it outright all the way. And what I found was so fascinating, we talked about this after the show last time I saw it, was that in order to do something that kind of perverse, and I mean that in kind of the artistic sense, something that different, the way to do it is to just follow the rules. I mean, absolutely follow the rules. I mean, if you were studying mime, they would tell you, take something you care about, you know, get the whole arc, get every movement, get the symbolic movements of it, and then just do it. And that is what he does. So there is nothing punk or unusual or wacky about this at all, except that the subject is not a little boy with a balloon, but rather Anna Nicole Smith. And he does her getting her tits and discovering her sexuality and marrying an old man and fighting for the money and finding her son dead. He does that in a way that gives you this tremendous compassion. He even does World War II, and he does 9/11. I mean, you can't get more offensive than that. And he mimes out the terrorist on the airplane and the guy going to work are the two characters, and the whole plot of 9/11, which is called A Day Called 9/11. As offensive as you could possibly get, but he does it pure and from the heart and does it perfectly and with skill. And he's just an inspiration. If you ever get a chance to see Billy the Mime anywhere, he will destroy you. It will break your heart. It will make your heart sore. It'll make you laugh your nutsack off. And I don't really have much to add to this, except that you should see Billy the Mime, and it always just destroys me. And you probably see little clips. The editors will put little clips in here about Billy the Mime. But don't think you've seen anything of Billy the Mime watching clips on YouTube or something, because you really have to see him. It's an incredible experience. And just forget that you're going to see a mime. And whoever you're going with, like your date and stuff, don't mention the word mime. Just say we're going to see something really, really cool. So Billy the Mime, check it out. Really. Squarespace offers users a flexible solution for anyone looking to create a blog, personal portfolio, or any kind of website. No matter what level of coding experience you have, Squarespace can provide the tools needed to create a high-end, complex website that is uniquely your own. Don't worry if you come across any questions or issues. Squarespace also offers every user 24/7 support. Squarespace just pushed a brand new social widget for geolocation services. Display your most recent check-ins from Foursquare, Gowalla, and Facebook Places on a live Google map. Squarespace is the only web publishing platform with a native built-in solution for displaying your check-in data. The widget is totally customizable and fully integrated with the Squarespace style editor. Squarespace's iPhone app lets you publish to your blog on the go and comment moderation. Get push notifications to approve new comments, mark existing comments as spam, reply to comments, and more, all from your iPhone. Many of the internet's highest traffic websites are powered by Squarespace, not to mention many of the personal pages of Revision 3 hosts and personalities. Go to www.squarespace.com/Penn to get a 2-week free trial and learn more.